Usisahau kusubscribe, kulike na kucomment.
At the White House Wednesday, more praise for testing.
We're putting in very heavy testing systems. We have the best testing systems. We're testing more than anybody.
While diagnostic testing has ramped up in the last several weeks, the U.S. is testing a far smaller percentage of its people than countries with smaller populations like South Korea. Right now, the test to detect the virus uses a long swab that goes up a patient's nose or down the throat.
I think you took half of my brain.
And in hard-hit places like New York, some wait days for an appointment to be tested and days more for results. There simply aren't enough tests in the world, says UCLA lab director Garner, to meet demand.
Everybody needs to do the exact same test at a very high volume. This has never happened before. We've never experienced a pandemic on this scale where we need to do this much testing, and the manufacturers just didn't have enough product that was made.
Do they have it now?
They are getting there. They have more and more each week.
UCLA can now test up to 1,000 people a day who are symptomatic and have a doctor's approval. But even in California, where the crisis isn't as dire as in other parts of the country, Garner had to call half a dozen companies to get the equipment he needed.
To run this high number of tests in a day requires a lot of equipment. The first part of the equipment does extraction. So it extracts that virus out of the sample if it's there. And the second part of equipment does a test to look specifically to see if COVID-19 is in that sample.
Another crucial test, blood tests, to see if someone has fought off COVID-19 and has antibodies against the disease. On Monday, Stanford University launched testing of a coronavirus antibody blood test they developed on Stanford medicine personnel. The hope is that will lead to a test for the general population. California Governor Gavin Newsom praised the development as foundational and fundamental, but it's unclear how soon tests like these could be widespread, and there are still a lot of questions.
We don't know the answer to whether or not having these antibodies means you're protected against having the infection again, or if you get the infection again, will you have symptoms or no symptoms? Could you then become infectious to other people?
Do you believe that we need to have a way to test people before everyone goes back to work?
I actually think that's the only way people are going to be able to not only go back to work, but sort of restart society. I think that it's really this combination of everybody who has symptoms needs to be tested for acute disease, and then everybody needs to be tested by the blood test, by the antibody test, to see who is actually immune.
A word of caution about those antibody tests. You may have seen some advertised online in recent days. The FDA is cautioning that some companies are falsely claiming that those antibody blood tests are approved or FDA authorized, and that's just not the case, guys.
All right, Kate, it's good to see you. And of course, this has really hit home for you. I know your husband has the virus. How is Chris doing? How are you doing and the kids?
Yeah, thanks, Savannah. He's downstairs below me in the basement, secluded, still sleeping this morning. He's been improving each day, but we're on day 7 right now. And I have to say, he's still pretty sick. This is a really tough thing. And he has not been tested yet. We have a 3-day wait from now till he can even get a test, and then I'll have to wait 3 or 4 days for results here in New York.
Jeez.
All right. Well,
Usisahau kusubscribe, kulike